All right, everyone. I am so excited for this conversation today. I know that you all are as well. We had a record number of people sign up to hear from you, Andrea, today. They were very, very excited about this topic.
I'm thrilled, and I'm so excited to be here after the technical issues that I had last time. So thank you for being so flexible with me.
Yes, yes, we're really excited to talk all things design. There were some super fans that signed up to hear
Oh,
from you
good.
today.
I love that. I love that.
Yes. Y'all, as you're coming in, can you drop in the chat where you're tuning in from so that Andrea can get a sense of that? And can you also, if you have something in particular that you're really hoping to learn from our time together, drop that in the chat as well, and I'll keep an eye on that. So we've got, oh, yeah, Carrie from icy cold Houston, Los Angeles, Virginia, Florida, Orlando. Yeah, Raleigh,
Order
Atlanta.
power.
I know. Wilmington. Oh, Edmonton. We actually don't say that. Hey, lots of Raleigh people, Colorado. Perfect. Well, they are really excited, Andrea, to get a
Oh,
sense
good.
of your design process. I know there were some questions that I sent over to you in advance, and we're going to cover some of those today. Looking forward to hearing your design process. Yep, I'm just taking an eye on the chat. Okay. Well, y'all, Andrea, how long have you had your business? It's since 2011, right?
Yes. So I'll be celebrating 10 years this summer, which is really exciting. But I got my first job in weddings when I was 15. So I'm 400 years old and a wizard.
No.
Um, but I got my first job. I always thought I was going to be a lawyer, and then I got a job in weddings, and it really changed the entire trajectory of my life. And it's the one thing that I truly, truly love doing. And so I moved to Vegas in 1994, went to UNLV, and at the time, being a wedding planner wasn't a thing. When I went
Mm-mm.
to sit down with my counselor, they said, like, what do you want to be when you grow up? And I said, I want to be a wedding planner. He was like, catering. And I said, no,
No.
I don't want to be a caterer. I want to be a wedding planner. And he's like, that's not a job. And I was like, yeah, I got a feeling about this though. Like, I think it's going to be a thing. And so I worked my way through all of the other things that you would do. I did catering, I did restaurants, I did hotels, I did nightlife. I took internships with photo teams and video teams and floral teams because I wanted to be able to come into a business and start something really having a very global understanding of what everybody did. Because I felt
Yeah.
like if I had a deep understanding of the logistics, if I knew what other people needed to do in order to be really successful at their job, it would put me in a place of authority so that when I asked for something, when I wanted something, it felt valid. And so
Mm-hmm.
I started 10 years ago with the goal of redefining what it meant to get married in Las Vegas specifically. And so that's
Mm-hmm.
been my 10-year mission, and I'm super excited about where we are. And I think it's going to be great to see what happens over the next like 18 to 24 months, especially.
Oh my gosh, me too. I started my business, it'll be 11 years. So we started right around
Oh,
the same time.
yes.
Yeah. And you have such an amazing reputation in the industry. Your design style is phenomenal, and that is why I was so excited to chat with you today. So let's jump right in. I know you have a few slides that you want to share, and then we've got some questions.
I do. And I, for everybody in the chat and watching, I left it very kind of open and fluid. I don't believe in industry secrets. I don't believe there are trade secrets. And so I will jump out of the slides and show you whatever it is that you want to see on the back end from my actual computer. So my tagline has always been celebrating life, luxury, and above all else, love. And I create extraordinary experiences for people who lead extraordinary lives. I do that by really working to bend the universe to my will. I'm a sensory planner. So the things that I focus on are when you walk into a room, what are you going to hear? What are you going to see? What are you going to smell? What are you going to taste and touch? And when you put these things together, how do they make you feel? So when you open up doors and you go in and there's a 50-foot long tunnel, you're obviously seeing a lot of green. You're obviously seeing candlelight. But this tunnel was very narrow. And so when you moved through the greens, you actually heard the leaves rustling. You actually heard the running water from that fountain. So it gave you a sense of truly being outdoors. Very different emotional response than when you walk into a ballroom and the band and the orchestra is already on stage and on the dance floor and playing. It pulls something else out of you. It's different when you walk into a room that is very dark and very saturated. And it's clear that we were here inspired by nature. We built trees, we bought in turf, we had a lot of greenery. But when you sit down at a table that's actually mirrored and gold, it feels different than when you are actually set outdoors, when there's actual water creating a reflection, when the wood is truly petrified wood. And so I'm always interested in the lighting. Is it really bright? Is it really dim? Are things that like if I pick something up and I touch it, is it really slick or is it soft? Am I working with velvet? So I'm always trying to look at the different elements. And a lot of times throughout my process, I'm like closing my eyes and saying, all right, if I sat down and I touch this, how do I feel? Or if a sound changes, is it going to be jolting for me or does it make sense? When I taste something, is are there scented candles? Am I smelling vanilla when I'm eating radishes? Or is there so much garlic that I can no longer appreciate the roses? So I'm constantly trying to pull those things in. And I know that we had some questions. And so we've been asked about design process and workflow. And I see that Angela wrote a proposal template workflow after they onboard with you, full mock-up design presentation. So I between this and then how involved are my clients with the design process after we meet, I do have a different way of doing things. The first thing that happens when I get a phone call from a client, I make the assumption that if you have somehow found your way to me, if we've gotten to the stage where you're outreaching to me, you've looked at my work, at least on Instagram, but you've looked at my work somewhere. You've been to my website. You have a sense that I'm somebody who believes that more is more is more, and that the grander the moment, the better the memory, and that I am always looking to do something that's heavy in production. If you're a minimalist and you see anything I've ever done, you're like, no, thank you. Like those that you should not have called me. You probably haven't. But if you've gotten to this place, you have a sense that you like my style. And so I know that you like me. So now I'm trying to figure out if I like you and if I think that what I do is going to really matter in your life. If you're somebody who's like, I have money and I can spend a lot of money, and so I'm going to have a big, beautiful wedding, and that's great, but I just need you to check the boxes. I'm actually not as interested just in checking the boxes for the sake of checking the boxes. So my first thing starts out with just a very getting to know you call. I want to know how you met. I want to know about the last vacation you took. I want to know how you spend your time. I want to know what you do for work, if you're into charities, if you're into philanthropy. I want to know where you stand in terms of like pop culture. Do you watch Bridgerton? Are you Netflix and chill? Because I just keep right next to me on my desk at all times. I'm constantly taking handwritten notes. And so, yep, because for me, it does a couple of things. I really have to make sure that I get it down. And so while I'm doing that, like you can see that I've got like a call out on the side. Those types of things, when I'm talking to clients and they're telling me about their lives, about their relationships, I'm taking notes and then I'm pulling things out to the side and I'm bubbling them, things that in the moment I'm feeling there might be a connection to this or might be a connection to that. Then I'm repeating everything back to them So I'm hearing it, I'm writing it, I'm saying it, and I'm having them clarify for me. And all of this is really set. Sorry, Beastie, we have people here. Sorry.
It's real life. It's real life. It's
It is.
fine.
I'm so sorry. Handsome man. He's a baby. But so I'm also trying to see, like, does our conversation flow? Or like, is there a lot of like, is it like a weird and awkward first date? Or is there a super cool vibe? Like, are we getting along? Are we really enjoying each other? And so if that's the case, that makes me excited because now I feel like, okay, we have good energy on each other. We're able to really be connecting. We're able to talk. And that kind of means a lot to me. So once we're there and I'm like, okay, great. I know we like each other. I know we have a good vibe. Then I start moving into why Vegas? Why me? What's brought you to this point, and what is it that you want to get out of this? Like when people leave the wedding, what's the lasting memory? Do you want them to leave feeling like deeply emotionally moved? Do you want them to leave exhausted because they had such a great party? Do you want them to leave drunk? Do you want them to leave stuffed? When they go home and they tell people, I just went to this wedding, and what comes after the end? Because once I have an idea of who you are and what matters, I know whether or not I'm the right person to give that to you. And so somebody had asked, it was a couple of slides down here, that if I only take so many a year, how do I know? And what do I say? So the minute that I feel like there's a disconnect, I just stop. Then I say, I am so sorry. I am not your planner. And
Mm.
that is, and I just leave it there. And there's always a moment of silence. And I give them that silence because I want them to have the second, but I say, and here's why. I really don't do minimalist work. And so I'm not going to be a good custodian of your money. I'm not going to be, I don't understand how to tell a story without using a lot of this stuff. And so if you really want something streamlined, I'm not going to be the person who does a good job for you. And to be honest, as much as we like each other, like right now, we're going to have a lot of, don't eat that. We're going to, not you.
I have a puppy at home too. It's fine. This happened the other night on a webinar. He ran by, almost took my laptop off the table. It's fine.
Yeah, he's actually, I don't know if I can do this. Hold on.
Yeah, of course.
Sitting at the,
Oh, look at him. He's so cute.
yeah, he is like, I'm going to learn too. So he does. He sits at the desk across from me throughout the day, my boy. But so I'll tell them, or sometimes they'll say to me, you know, I want all of this, but I want exactly like this. And I'll say, well, I'm sure you don't mean exactly like it. Like you want to be inspired by, and they go, no, I want this. And I say, okay, then I'm not your planner. You can take this to anyone. I don't buy knockoff bags. I don't wear knockoff shoes. I don't do knockoff weddings. I think you can be better than Pinterest. I think you can be better than the World Wide Web. And if you truly don't have a desire to be anything more than a replica of what you've seen, then I have no value to you because I specialize in creating the thing that you haven't seen before. I walk into a thing and I go, well, I know that you see the world this way. And so it's like that scene in the Da Vinci Code where like he's seeing pictures float around in his head. I see something that doesn't exist yet. And I go, oh, I could build this here. I could put this there. And I want to create the world that the way that I wish it was, not the way that it is. And if you don't care about that, you're never going to see the ultimate value in what I can do for you. You're never going to enjoy it.